Welcome back to another episode of Astro Reacts. I'm your boy Astro, and today we're getting back into that American Indian versus Native American, the acceptance. Oh, now y'all want to accept us. Oh, hold on. I thought we was wappos. I thought we was liars. Pretendians. Pretendians. Like, come the fuck on. What the fuck we gotta pretend about? What the fuck do we have to lie about? Josh sure did come up with names for us, right? That's funny. Turn around and have to accept us because we was telling the truth. That's crazy. But hey, I'm not gonna hold you. If you like the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe because every little bit helps, and we thank you guys so much. But without further ado, let's get into these.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you? No, you done fucked up, don't you? No, don't you?
Here's a challenge. If you indigenous as you say, let's see you pose with a real eagle feather and show it's a real eagle feather too. Talk is cheap. If you can't do that, means someone is. I'm on some bullshit today, so I might well join it. Listen, if posing with an eagle feather makes everyone an indigenous person, then we're in a world of trouble, brother. If that, because anybody can get an eagle feather, okay? Anybody can get an eagle feather. Whether they can do it legally is a different situation. Because see, that's what you're trying to delve into, right? With the whole pose thing. Like, we're turtle slow. We're not turtle slow, bro. I get what you're trying to do. However, that argument has already been had. That argument has already been had. It's why we've went down this rabbit hole of who's wobble and who's a wannabe and all this other stuff, because they saw me with an eagle feather and they contacted the FBI already, and they contacted all these people. He has an eagle feather in his video, and been there, done that, bro. Been there, done that. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of our religious beliefs. It's what we do when we practice our cultural ceremonies and things that we do. It's a sacred item to them. I don't just pull out an eagle feather to pose with it because I want to. That's not what you use an eagle feather for. But an eagle feather does not define who you are, sir. It does not. No different than a CDIB card, no different than a government state ID card or driver's license. It doesn't define who you are. But that you just did is weak. Especially because your page exclusively says you're here to cause chaos or cause chaos for fun. My brother, I respect you if you're causing chaos for any other reason other than to start drama. Because one thing I've noticed about the indigenous people who are upset with those of us who are also indigenous is y'all stand on none of the principles of your ancestors. Your ancestors didn't have time to argue about who was or who wasn't indigenous. Your ancestors embraced everybody, if it's the ancestors that history talks about. So while you're busy causing chaos, we're busy causing unity. And I'm about unity, my brother. I'm not gonna pick at you too long, but I'll just say that this was a weak one. And that's obvious. Find something better to do with your identity. Find something better to do with your culture. Find something better to do with your wisdom if you have that to share with children. Other than to get on the TikTok and decide you want to cause chaos. Nice try though. Appreciate you.
Have you ever had steak and cornbread? It's the traditional Mohawk Sunday morning breakfast.
Now, when you think cornbread, you're probably thinking that golden, light and fluffy, almost cake-like texture bread that you would eat with chili or at a cookout. But for Mohawks, our cornbread is made with cornmeal and kidney beans. You start by adding some cornmeal to a bowl, and you slowly incorporate warm water. Also add 1 can of kidney beans. Now, the reason why Mohawks eat this heavier meal as part of their Sunday morning breakfast goes back to when the native ironworkers of Kahnawake were building up the New York City skyline. Before the interstate was complete, Mohawks of Kahnawake would travel 10 to 12 hours from Kahnawake, Quebec, down to New York City. This heavier meal would not only keep them full, but give them leftovers for the road. Many Mohawks would also eat this after attending church. Since Kahnawake Mohawk territory was originally a Jesuit missionary, there were and still are a lot of people in the territory that attended Sunday Mass, and afterwards would come home and have the cornbread. cornbread. After you form your cornbread patties, you're going to want to boil them. The boil time depends on the size that you've made, and I usually leave mine in for 20 to 30 minutes. For the traditional Mohawk Sunday morning breakfast, you want to pair with steak and sausage. Today I'm frying up 2 thinner pieces of steak, seasoning lightly with salt and pepper, and then into the same pan, I'm adding my sausage. These are basic breakfast sausages, and you want to cook them until they're seared on all sides. In the same pan, you can add some butter and flour to make a gravy, although some Mohawks use tomatoes and make a red sauce. Once your gravy is prepared, you can pour it over your cornbread, steak, and sausage. Those who've never tried cornbread before might find it a little bit plain. It has a similar flavor and texture to tamale without any meat filling, so you get your flavoring from the gravy and the meat.
So if you want to start your Sunday morning like a Mohawk, you better have your cornbread and steak.
Government, yeah, and I'm literally doing my job, and I get paid quite well for it. I get paid quite well for it. I get paid quite well to pass on the old ideology that American Indians look like this. Because y'all are waking up. Right? Y'all are waking up. You're waking up and you're realizing that we stole your land, that we stole your culture, and we stole your language, and oh my God, you have us shaking in our boots right now.
Hey, what's happening, tribe? Hey, this finna be the post right here. So, I don't know if y'all heard about Native American tribes trying to go to the government to add black Indians into their tribe now. One thing about it, man, once the truth start coming out, then everybody got to start telling the truth. It's a karmic thing. You gotta tell the truth once the truth come out. They like, oh, they woke. We need them on our side, cause now they know the truth. It's up. But hold on real quick. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Alright, here we go right here. Cherokee tribes and the inclusion of black Indians. Freedmen. That's my mom's maiden name. Freeman. The Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black people once enslaved by the tribe, known as the Cherokee Freemen. So you telling me Native Americans enslaved black people, but y'all be all on our posts making racist remarks telling us that we ain't Indian and telling us that we from Africa, but your Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black once enslaved by your tribe. So you telling me y'all enslaved indigenous people? So you telling me these Native Americans that look like Siberians, look like white folks, look like Mexicans, look like Hispanics. So you telling me them same people enslaved black tribe, black people. You see what I'm saying? So y'all enslaved indigenous black people and got the nerve to come on our pages being disrespectful. I'm finna put all this business out here. Everybody need to know this. Y'all make sure y'all share, comment, goddamn like this shit. Show your mama, show your grandma. The Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black people once enslaved by the tribe. They're not talking about Africans. They wouldn't say Africans. They said black people. And they don't want to say black Indians because that's who we are. Inclusion of black Indians. So they didn't want to say down here that they enslaved black Indians. These Siberian, Mongolian, they worked as slave catchers. They enslaved black indigenous people with those same white people. Y'all need to know what's going on. So stop saying that these Cherokee white Mongolian people are the true Indians. No, the black Indians are. Now let's go to this. Now this why I fuck with my uncle Deontay Trump. Cause he know the truth. He know what's going on. And I've been trying to tell y'all that for the longest, all my black people, but y'all so caught up in this racist stuff of what white people did to us that you think all white people are against us. Did y'all know that it was some white people helped us during slavery? But that's another story. This what my boy Trump doing. Native communities could lose $24.5 billion under Trump administration proposal. If upheld by the courts, the proposed freeze on federal grants would affect nearly every tribe. Nah, this ain't old news. What it is, July the 24th or something like that? They published this July the 15th. This new news. Yeah. So all y'all hating Native American tribes that don't know nothing, because that's all y'all do in court. You say, I don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing truly. Because black indigenous people been trying to tell y'all who we are, and all y'all did was come through with racist remarks. But guess what? Thank you, Uncle Trump. Hit they ass. $24.5 billion. And guess what? It's going to affect nearly every tribe. So no, we cool. We don't need y'all to include us. We already included. Everybody know who we is. Keep that same energy. We good.
This right here makes me so sad because all of our great-grandmothers, grandmothers, great-great-grandmothers told us the same thing. This is our oral history that we denied because we were in school and we thought we were so much smarter than them and we thought we knew better than them. And it's so sad because they were telling us who they were all along. So like I said, it's weird to me that everybody else can listen to their oral history, but once we tell our oral history, they're calling our elders liars. So just remember, if we all have the same story, it has to be some truth to it. People say it's because we were enslaved by them. People say it's because we were having white ancestors, as if we don't know our white ancestors. We know we have European ancestors, but that's not why our great-grandparents were saying they were Indian. That was the classification they had at the time. That's why they were saying they were Indian.
This is going to be my last time responding to your goofy, non-comprehending, illiterate ass. All right? Now watch this video here.
I think it's time for us to show how strong and how powerful the Black American dollar is, since they don't believe us. I think it's time to boycott the braiding shops.
It's not over. Let's watch this video now.
Like, I just seen an ugly bitch try to convince the rest of everybody else that we should boycott Africans.
Clearly from both those videos, that man is responding to the woman's video. He disagreed with boycotting African businesses, and that would have been okay if that's all he said, except he attacked her physical features. And later on, I created a video coming for his physical features, and I called him a ugly frog face looking bitch. What did you decide to do? You decided to defend him because you said I was pandering to women. And then you said, how did I know it was a black woman that he was speaking about? Why? Because I saw her video and then I saw his video. So I already knew who he was talking about. But if I'm pandering to black women, or just women, as you say, you're pandering to men. Zip his pants up and get off my page. This is the last time I'm responding to you. It's been cool making some money off my views, talking shit about you, but I'm wrapping this up. Back to me protecting black women and back to me protecting the black community. Boycott African businesses August 1st.
Shit gave me salmonella poisoning just looking at this nasty res grown concoction. Where's my cell phone? I'm calling ICE. That meat is giving me human trafficking vibes.
This and this. I just mixed up whatever seasonings I wanted. I mostly put enchiladas, gourmet sauce, and I was cutting them up to hang and taking off these parts. Feeding those a bit hard. But 3 pieces. We just got a quail and gamble a couple days ago. I was letting this sit so the blood could drain out of it. There's one. Oh, sure. One. Ready to go. So I added some water and it won't be too much. But what do you guys like to do with your meat? We don't really like it fried here in the house, but other people do. But, so I'm just gonna make jerky out of it. My kids and I love the jerky. My brother especially, he's coming back from Marine infantry, so he'll be pretty happy for this. He hasn't had it for a while. But I just wanted to show you guys a little video of what I'm doing. I can post a after video when these are dried. I'm making them pretty big because I got a good sized piece. I'm not going to give it a share to me. But take a bite. Dip it in the sauce I made. That's pretty good. I already put them away my butter, okay. Some of it, and then I finished off, packed them away. I had my family help me. My youngest had a school day yesterday. I mean, not a school day, a fail day, so no school, because they help and they're happy. Making pieces. Okay, I'll just post an after video. Thanks for watching.
Just saw this. The Muskogee Nation court rules that descendants of enslaved people are entitled to citizenships. So that's right, y'all. Freedmen in the Muskogee Nation get citizenship. So this is very important, especially when we're talking about the discourse around Black, Indigenous, right, Black and Native American relations. As
Black Americans should continue the delineation movement. I think it's doing good. I think it's doing good on the grand scheme of things. How I perceive the movement is basically you guys reclaiming your time. You guys are reclaiming the power as a group in the culture and everything like that, right? And I love that. Now, lately, I've been seeing more topics about how people are saying, whether they're in the diaspora, whether they're Black in the diaspora, or just a foreigner that's not Black or whatever, even white people. I'm seeing a lot of them now are like, oh, I understand now, I understand now, I understand now. And I think that's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? The moment Black people stopped fighting back and said, hey, this is y'all, we not in this, we worried about us or whatever, all of a sudden, oh, we understand now, kumbaya bullshit, you feel me? Now people have some type of understanding. And the reason I support it, even though I'm Haitian American, the reason I support it is because I don't like fuck shit. I don't like fuck shit in any form, coming from anywhere. And there's a lot of fuck shit that Black Americans have been getting. But I think this is a beautiful movement. I think I should continue to stand on the boundaries, because that's what it's a boundary. You niggas are setting y'all boundaries. I love it. Me personally, I'm a big fan of boundaries. You niggas are setting y'all boundaries like, hey, y'all wasn't really here for us. We're not gonna be here for that. It's to the point, I seen a video the other day of this Spanish lady. She Mexican. And she was like, oh, what if Black people started saying Bina instead of, you know, the ER, they saying the A. And I was like, wow, y'all got some understanding. It took this long for y'all to understand some shit. I'm here for it. I support it. Keep doing y'all thing. The next big thing is them admitting y'all got culture. Keep stand on business until that happens. Trust me, it's gonna happen. Because motherfuckers need y'all, bro. We all need each other, but motherfuckers need y'all, bro. Yeah.
You look at paintings, and just because those paintings have darker skin, that means, hey, these are the Black people that are alive here today.
There's tens of millions of people coming at me thinking I'm wrong, right? I got Africans, I got indigenous people, I got some of our people. I love this. Chief Yasin versus all of y'all because I can prove y'all wrong. Welcome to the cookout. This is my official genealogy certificate. This individual possesses a remarkable lineage connected to the Xiongnu Republic, as their ancestry can be traced back to indigenous roots in the Americas. Easy. I back up everything I say. So while y'all think y'all are being cute and funny and trying to kiki ha ha, I'm the one laughing because this is my land. And I got something for y'all.
Man, get in here, get in here, get in here. Did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? But let me read this, and then I'm gonna give my opinion. No, I'm not giving my opinion first, but let me read what's now happening. Some Native American tribes are actively working to get the U.S. government to recognize Black Indians. You can go and take a screenshot. Now, we thought that they was calling the Indian Bureau of Affairs and ICE, and y'all was on TikTok live every day talking about some, we gonna make a group and call on the United States government to dismantle this rhetoric, culture of procreation. We still in that culture. Now all of a sudden, you want us to be down with you? All of a sudden you respecting our wishes and you calling us Black Indians? You calling us Black Indians? Wait. But there's more. Now remember when these tribal nations expelled Black Indians? Now I know what's going on. And if you don't, let me show you a receipt. Now when they noticed that we wasn't asleep no more, they was like, you know what? They caught on to us. Hey y'all, they waking up. They waking up. Did you know most of these Indian reservations is getting dismantled? But now you need our help. Nah, we not giving it to you. Go ahead and defend for yourself. Remember, you was talking big ish online, talking about some culture erasure, and we told you that we not Native Americans. We Indians. Now you recognize, you saw the receipts. Now you need us on your team? Nah, we not going. Bye-bye.
Man, please don't do that. Please don't do that. He's being very respectful. He's asking you direct questions. Please answer his question, man. We don't want to get confused. We have over 200 people that's listening and watching, and we don't want any misinformation spread. We want everybody to hear what's going on. Please don't skip over his questions, man. Ask her again, Rashad, and we're not moving forward.
Where did your people migrate from?
I don't think you actually want answers at this point.
What?
I don't think you guys actually want answers.
Just want to know where No, hold on, everybody. Wait, hold on. Where did your people migrate from? It's just a simple question. I do want the answer. I haven't disrespected you. I've asked you questions. You've answered them. And then based on your answer, we move on to the next question. That's how question answer works. So I'm just asking you, where did your people migrate from?
Breed. So that right there tells us she's not from America right there.
Yeah, but I want to know where. You're looking to the right. I don't know who's over there, but can you just answer the question?
You know, lady, we have receipts on you guys, so please don't lie. Just be straight up and unmute yourself if you talk to us.
Okay, should we move on to the next?
She's going to answer the question. Where did y'all migrate from? Heidi, respectfully.
Do you guys know what Pangea is?
Can you can you explain to us?
Hold on. I'm trying to answer the question. Do you know what Pangea is?
We don't. Explain it to us. I never heard of it.
Pangea is a theory that all the continents were all together at one point in time.
Word that you said it was a theory?
Pangea.
Theory. That's your first word.
Listen, wait, hold on. Heidi, can you please just answer the question? Where did y'all migrate from? What would the area be called today? Where did y'all migrate from?
Oh, see, that's why. See, listen, the boxing love to tell.
They don't want to tell the truth.
Okay, so hold on, y'all. So this thing, right? See, this is why CEO go live. You see what I'm saying? It's not to make anybody feel bad. It's just to show the world that the people that claim that we come from Africa don't even know where they originally come from and the things about their ancestry. See, this has become a huge problem with you guys. You guys seems to know so much about me and my people, but when I ask you questions about yours, you freeze up, you get sad, the little Google eyes. Like, we not finna do that. If anybody want to cry right now, it should be me and my people. We the only ones that got a story to where everybody can just be like, you know what, that was fucked up. Let's all cry together. If I'm not crying, I can hold this shit together. It's no way you crying. So stop all that capping, because you're trying to play victim, right? You were trying to act as if we was up here picking with you. No, I'm respectful. Rashad was respectful, David, and Carper. Now, we can get ignorant if that's what you want, but we're not going to do that because we don't want the lies to get banned. So we're trying to have respect. So we're going to allow another native to come up here. Just tell the truth. How many natives was up here, y'all? Is that 6?
I think that was about 6.
Okay. So out of 6 Native Americans, not one gave us any information that we can use to solve this issue. Perfect. Moving on to the next.
She did give us some good information, though, when I said if I migrated from Europe and I came here, what would I be? She said you'd be a European, but you'd be native to America.
Now, what I do notice is them and the Africans sound just alike. Nobody ever has receipts. No, they don't have a tree to connect themselves to, which will be your ancestors. But they seem to, I'm starting to think these are one in the same.
Right. Yeah, and she was done. Like, the way she just dropped, that kind of hurt me, you know. That was a sad little situation.
Hey, I'm confused.
I'd rather her drop than lie, so I kind of respect her. At least she didn't lie. She just dropped, you know. So
when she said, have you heard of Pangea? Was she going to try to, like, say that? I'm wondering if she was going to try to say, well, in that case, every land was America. Is that what she was going to say?
So we was all one big land and... Yeah, the theory. It's always the theory, and who else has those talking points? The Pan-Africans. That's why I said they all one in the same.
Right, and I'm gonna say this.
Hey, this bro said, I am not going to boycott African businesses simply because I don't go to African businesses in the first place. Hey, me neither. But I will say this. She tried to group in Caribbeans and Jamaicans and shit. I like my jerk chicken, but more often than that, my curry goats. I mean, technically, the Caribbeans is the Americas. Not even technically. That's America. So, my curry goat, I might have to, you know, in the oxtails, you know. Curry goat. Hey, American, right? I don't know.
I'm a Black American. My family has been here since the 16th century, and we are African people.
Every time I see a video like this, I am going to try to respond. I'm not going to deny your blackness. A lot of us did not come from Africa, but I have several questions that a lot of people don't tend to want to ask. You said they brought 12 million of black people over here to this country, right? 12 million in the slave trade in the 1600s, where you said your people came to this country. Well, I have a question for you. Columbus landed in Haiti, right? In Haiti in 1492. To make sure we're understanding each other. 1492, Christopher Columbus made it to Haiti. I also want to ask another establishing question. Spain was established and created by Negroes. by Negroes, right? So this is where my questioning comes in. Because this never makes no sense to me. Never made no sense to me, even to this day, even on this video that you're posting. Why in the hell would Christopher Columbus take 25 black people back to a country that was established and created by Negroes? Let me repeat myself. Spain was established and created by Negroes. Negroes lived there. Negroes were still there. Matter of fact, Christopher Columbus brought a Negro with him that spoke Arabic. You read Christopher Columbus' journal and it says there were well-made black people. I'm trying to understand why Christopher Columbus would go and take 25 indigenous black people from America to Spain to show Negroes to Negroes. He said would make excellent slaves. Their bodies were well built and they would be excellent slaves. Only 8 indigenous people made it back to Spain. So I just want to make sure I have a clarifying question. He took 25 black people to Spain to show Spanish people that were essentially at the time black people, Moors from Africa, that the New World had black people there that you could make out of slaves. But instead, using them, make a right 2 lefts and go to Africa and get slaves instead of using the black people that's already here. 12 million of them. So what was the purpose of taking Negroes to Spain to show them the slaves that was already here, that were black, well built, to turn around and go get 12 million slaves from another place?
I want this to not be our land so bad, but we can actually prove who the fuck we are. We can actually prove where the fuck we came from, and guess what? We can also prove where the fuck y'all came from too, and we can prove who the fuck you are too. I know that fucks with y'all so bad.
Regions of America, what a variety of iron ore as hematite. Hematite were producing paints and pigments of red. Hematite produced paints and pigments of red. Egypt was grinding hematite for paints and ink. If you talk about aliens, we dropping a diss track. We gonna hit them up. We hitting them up. First off, fuck the aliens and the clique they claim, man. Roll the core. We claim the indigenous clique. They galactic alien clique. We claim the indigenous American clique. You better pick a side.
And yes, ancient Mesopotamians used hematite to produce red pigment. And y'all still talking about aliens. Damn, we know the truth.
Again, when I was young, my mom always said like, yo, if you're young, don't use big boy words again. So you don't know what
Can I ask you?
Bro, you keep on asking a bunch of questions, but you can't get the answer within a second. Relax, man. Calm down. Chillax. Again, bro, mulatto is never a political term. Like, you know what it means to have a political term? There's nobody saying a proud. There's no political group called the mulatto group in America. Like, what are you talking about, dude? So mulatto is never a political term. Bro, the term mulatto is not a political term. And you know what it means? It means a whitey father and most likely an African lady that got essayed by that whitey slave master. So there's no indigenous identification in there. And neither is mulatto a political term by definition. Go read what it means to have a political term.
Mulatto was never used in classification. I mean, in legislation. That's what you're telling me?
No, you don't use a political term. You don't use a political term.
It was never used in law? Are you telling me it was never used in law?
See, these individuals, they're not coming on a panel.
I'm just asking a question. He's saying it's not a political statement.
You're trying to teach.
Bro, what you kind of fail to realize, though, like, and that's why I said, though, like, it would have started probably in the colonies. This is mulatto, so that word, that's not an indigenous word, so it does have origins in the old world for sure. So I'm sure you can back. One second, brother. You want an answer? I'm trying to get you one. Just bear with me. But I'm letting you know that probably in Virginia somewhere, that's probably what we'll find here in America the first time the word is being used, and it's used in reference to people of mixed African ancestry. I know that it has something to do with the mule. They went through the full definition and the origin of the word mulatto. I think it has to do with when a horse and a donkey procreates with each other, and that person is, and that animal is considered inferior because of that.
To take away that representation, it would really make me, like, that's why I've been doing it this way, to see if she actually gets transparent and takes accountability before we resort to escalating it to that level. Yeah.
Well, I have a letter here. Well, not letter, these are records, right? What do we got? This is the son of a cacique. We see records where you'll see the word right blanco, pardo right here. This is what you need to focus on the records when you see these things. How much this is specific to Gurabo. And you'll see these are villages in Gurabo, in specific, donde yo vengo, ¿verdad? El año sería 1826. So we have existing records of peoples that eventually, right, they go from one name to the next.
So all of a sudden,
you know, we get to see this on and off again with the population of Puerto Rico. We see a movement of the identities right before it was mestizo, mulato, pardo, moreno, ahora es blanco o negro.
They got relabeled. Exactly. Everybody got put into 2 labels, the binaries of the United States, because they started doing that. But yeah, that's what I mean. This is why. Because I don't want it to, like I said, I want accountability and I want transparency. She decided to use that source. So as an influencer and as a quote-unquote educator, because she self-proclaims as an educator, I want her to be...
Just go ahead and pick a mix it around your hood. Black. You're black. Nothing's gonna change that.
Spirit of restoration. Let me be clear. To those of you in my comments, as if I'm clueless, trying to correct me while misrepresenting Greek, Egyptian, Hindu, Norse, Celtic, Mesopotamia, Igbo, or any other mythology. As if I'm on drugs or some crazy person. Miss me with the bullshit, cause you clearly don't know who I am. Before the invaders came, before the colonizers touched this plane, melanated beings were the only ones that existed. What you call myth is our memories. What you call stories are our truth. our systems, our sciences. The only myth in those stories were who they were credited to. And for those of you in my comments telling me I should be preaching unity for all people, that the system, that the elites have us all enslaved. Yes, you're absolutely right. We're all struggling, but not everybody. History was erased, stolen, rewritten, renamed, and used against them. Not everybody was stripped from their lands, their gods, their inheritance, and their language. Ain't no unity without truth. And until my people are fully acknowledged, compensated, and restored in truth, don't tell me to be all inclusive. I speak for my own people because justice for us, it ain't optional. It's divine order.
Are 42 million black Americans, all descendants of slaves. Did you know that's the same size of population as Afghanistan? There are more black people in the United States than there are people in Canada. Black population is bigger than the population of an entire country. Did you know that there are more black Americans than the average country? Ghana only got 37 million people, 39. Regardless, we overpopulate them. The idea that we are a minority, it's meaningless. We're a minority only because we live in a country that takes up 1/3 of an entire continent. There are more black Americans than there are people in California and Texas. Those are the largest states in America. If black people all gathered in one place, we could have a small country. We are a nation inside of a nation. We are unlike other minorities because we are all the same. We aren't just a race. We are one culture. We don't come from different nations, different cultural backgrounds. We represent one culture, one identity. Stop letting the diasporic people trick you out your spot. We don't need to look to the diaspora for identities with 42 million strong, bigger than the average African nation, under one tribe. Not segmented people under the guise of a nation, but one people under one identity. We have accomplished more in this nation than fully black nations with black leadership. People's opinions about who we are is irrelevant. At this point, 42 million people, doesn't matter what happened 400 years ago. Doesn't matter from the different places we came from. All of that is long gone. The only thing that matters is that we're here now. We're looking to the future that we're about to build. We are in the coming of a black renaissance era. It will not be missed because people are looking to the past and to the diaspora for answers when they have none. It's time to let all of that go. None of that stuff matters anymore. We are here. We're not going nowhere with 42 million people. Let that sink in. 42 million. We are a nation.
Okay, I'm about to say a harsh truth, and this has to do with the SSFS and why we cannot let Africans take over or have super influence on ethnic black American things. This is the harsh truth, and I hate to say Africans, and I think that all third world people, countries have this kind of mindset. However, the Africans obviously are trying to take over our businesses, our reparations, and so we have to stop it, and this is why. What the SSFS was just a glimpse. Third world countries are run into the ground because their leaders are corrupted, because they're tribalistic, because these people do not really care about the whole, the community. And the ethnic black American, so they scam, they cheat people, they steal from people, they are corrupt. And I'm not saying that all Africans are like this, but obviously there's too many, and that's why their countries are the way they are. They're willing to sell out each other to Europeans to have more money while the rest of their countrymen suffer horribly. So the reason why the SSFS did not go well is some of this thinking is starting to translate over. And we can't have, no matter what, I know you panties want to think that we're all kumbaya, we're all one. We're not. A first world mind can never understand a third world mind. We just can't, and a third world mind cannot understand a first world mind. And because we're in such a unique position that we are the only black ethnic group that built and exists in a first world country alongside the country becoming first world. We are also, not just with black people, we're one of the only ethnic groups out of Asians, Hispanics, even European ethnic groups that are doing very, very well considered, all things considered, okay? So that being said, we have to really protect what we built. We have been enslaved for centuries. Then we went through Jim Crow for centuries. And then we still have to deal with all these other things to get what we have. And I'm not gonna let that Pan-Africanist mindset that I used to have ruin that, because we just want to pretend and be delusional and idealistic that we are the same. We are not the same. We're not. And I'm not talking about DNA and genetics. I'm not talking about that. We have a completely different history because we had a canonizing event where those people sold our ancestors, and even some of our ancestors sold each other, and they're mixed up in it. But our canonizing event is that we went to slavery through centuries, and it transformed us into a completely different people. We had to build everything. We had to create everything in this country. We had to fight for everything we had, and we progressed and we advanced, and now we're here. And I'll be damned if y'all Pan-Africanist delusional mofos want to pretend that these people are just friendly and it's okay for them to steal. The Essence founder decimated the Black Museum in Harlem. Took $6.5 million. And there's all these scams coming out about the Essence Fest because they think differently. There's so much corruption in these third world countries. It's a norm. It's a norm. I am not saying America isn't corrupt, but it's a first world corruption. It's a first world corruption. First world corruption, third world corruption. Completely different animals. Ethnic black Americans know who actually lead some things. Know to a large degree that there's a certain amount of things you need to have to make something function well and for a long time. That's why Essence has lasted this long. They took over for maybe a couple years, and they've already started ruining it. Unless you know that person personally, because I'm not saying all Africans. I have friends I know who are African who would do a great job. A great job. But I know them very well. And even our own people, we know our own people can corrupt some stuff too. Listen, these people have a lot of tribalism that they have not gotten rid of. They have a lot of corruption that they haven't gotten rid of. They have a lot of colonization that they haven't gotten rid of. They didn't have a Malcolm X. They didn't have an MLK. They have Lumumbas. And look what they did to Lumumba as a group. Not as a one person or whatever. As a group. Look what they did to their Nkrumahs and their Lumumbas. Now, while we had MLK was unalived by the non-melanated, and Martin Luther and MLK, and Malcolm was unalived by one of us who was set up by the non-melanated, but we never rejoiced, and it was never all of us turning them in. Our Fred Hamptons were unalived by the non-melanated, but we never rejoiced. There was a few of raccoons who did, but not all of us. But look at what they did to their Lumumbas and Nkrumas. You cannot think we're the same. We're not. And the fact that you guys keep trying to make us the same means that you are on the other side with them. Go live with them. Go be with them. Go work with them. But not us anymore. We are not the same. We are like the rich cousins that go back to the hood thinking, I'm still going to be down with the hood. And look where it got Nipsey, who is bi-ethnic, before y'all try to start. Look where it got Nipsey Hussle, going back to the hood. Look where it got Young Dolph, going back to the hood. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but we're first worlders. And to them, we look like Nipsey in the hood. We look like Young Dolph when he comes to the hood. That's how we look to them. They think we're dumb and we're naive, and they're plotting on us. That's why the African Union had the nerve to put us as their sixth state. They will steal all that money. We'll never see a dime. We'll never see a dime. They're gonna say it's African Americans that get the money, and they mean African, not us, not ethnic Black Americans, not foundational Black Americans. So we really have to understand a first worlder and a third worlder cannot think alike. All they're gonna do is look at us as a group as a potential to scam and take. We are their rich cousins to them. And they're in squalor, in the hood. And guess what happens every time a famous rapper tries to keep going back to the hood? What happens to the famous rapper when he keeps trying to go back into the hood? And that is what's gonna happen to us if we keep trying to go back to these people. They need to elevate and learn from us. We do not need to learn from them. We are the ones that have the best education. We're the ones that are the healthiest as a group. We're the ones that have the most money as a group. We're the ones that have a culture that is emulated worldwide as a group. We are the ones that have a lot more on the table to lose. Stop it. They ran the Essence Fest into the ground. This is God trying to show us what can happen when we let this kind of mindset into our culture. I am not saying don't mess with somebody who's an immigrant, but you better have vetted them completely. And I wouldn't trust, you don't even trust your cousin Pookie with money. But yeah, you letting these people come in and do deals with you. You don't even let your cousin Pookie from the hood. You don't even want to give him $100. But you trying to do business with people that you don't know? You better have them contracts iron tight, ironclad. And I'm not saying, like I said, if I know somebody or if I see a track record or they have references that are really strong, okay. But stop thinking these people run us into the ground like they ran their countries into the ground. Stop it. When we had our own cities, they were thriving. They were so successful that the non-melanated were jealous of how successful and how well we were doing and destroyed it. So when we come together and we're not bothered by people, we know who not to let in. We know how to get to the next level because we did it and we showed it. They haven't shown us that yet as a group. They haven't. Stop it. If you're truly a business person, you're going to vet the business and you're going to vet the person. Don't let them run our culture to the ground because y'all panties want to kumbaya and sing along and you have a soft spot. Whether or not we're descended or not from them, whether it's indigenous, whether it's like whether we were from the slaves, it doesn't matter. We're not them anymore. We're not them. Stop trying to go back to the hood. They're trying to get to where we are, obviously, and you're trying to go back to where they are. Stop it. Stop it.
Exactly. Thank you. Even y'all know it. Saying thank God, that was a little extra. But even y'all see it. We are different. We look different. We have phenotypical differences. And even y'all know it as Africans. We know it as Black Americans. So what's the problem? What's the issue? We don't look like y'all. Y'all are happy that y'all don't look like us. So what is everybody fussing my shit about?
So I always call plays, right? And some of y'all ask me, y'all say, Jassy, you always be calling plays. What's the play, right? What's the real shit that you got to say on the boycotts, right? As far as Black Americans who are like, fuck that, I'm going to support Africans. I'm going to support an African business on August 1st, etc., etc. Here's what I have to say about that. Do not fight with them. Don't fight with them. Don't argue with them. Nothing, right? Just block them, okay? So if y'all want to know the play, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's gonna happen, and we know majority of the time. We want to say 95% of the time. I tell y'all shit, and that's exactly what ends up happening. They're gonna go against us, right? And they're gonna do what they do. Before the year is out, okay? Something gonna happen, and the motherfuckers gonna play in their face. Something gonna happen, and the motherfuckers gonna play in their face. And those Black Americans that went against us and supported them anyway are going to go ballistic. They are going to flip because they're gonna feel hurt. They're gonna feel betrayed. They're gonna feel like we supported y'all. We didn't listen to them when they told us yada yada yada, and y'all done played in our face. Because of the fact that I'm gonna explain it and break it down. You ever had a homegirl or a homeboy who was in a relationship with somebody who was on fuck shit, and you tried to tell them this motherfucker on fuck shit. They don't fuck with you like that. They don't like you like that. They decide to hold on to the times like the good times, and they don't get it. They ignore all the red flags. They ignore red flag after red flag. They ignore mistreatment. They ignore the person not really calling them, not really texting them, not really being there for them like that. You know, blowing hot, blowing cold, you know, whatever. And they tolerate all that shit. Them constantly giving that motherfucker money. That motherfucker don't never give them no money. And something serious happens, like they tire blow out and they stuck on the side of the road, and the motherfucker don't make a way to come help them, right? And they got to go through somebody else to come help them, right? Or maybe it's something extreme. They find out that the person done, hunched on their homeboy, or they hunched on their homegirl, or their coworker, or their family member, or something like that. And then that's when they realize, like something extreme, that's when they realize this person never fucked with them. Like, or just something happens that exposes it to them, and they had a wake up call, right? And they're just like, I did all of this for you, I did that for you, I did this for you, I did that for you, and you gonna do me like that. That's how this shit gonna end. It's gonna end just like that, okay? And we gonna be sitting here and we gonna be like, we probably not gonna see it because we got so many of them blocked, but that's what's gonna be the thing that flips them out. Sometimes it takes that person 7 times to like leave a toxic relationship, but some people, because Black Americans were groomed for exploitation. People don't understand that. We were groomed for exploitation. You got people who are still in the matrix, who are just yearning for acceptance, to be liked, to be loved. They want to prove that Black Americans are good people. Black Americans are loving people. Everybody knows that Black Americans are that. That's what makes Black Americans the perfect suckers. That's what makes Black Americans the perfect victims. That's what makes Black Americans the perfect people to exploit. Okay? Because they can fuck you over and then come to you, like when somebody cheat on you, and then come to you and say, well, she didn't mean nothing to me, baby. I love you. I love you and only you. Whoop-de-whoop. That's, people know they can do that to Black Americans because they've been doing it. Okay? They be like, well, remember that time when I gave you $20 for gas, even though you gave them $2,000. Okay? But you be like, oh, well, he did give me $20 for gas that one time. Right? That's how this, so that's what it's going to take. They have not reached their breaking point or their last straw yet, but they will. Okay? So that's the play. Tell me what y'all think.
Ain't no hate for y'all people. It's just it's extreme exhaustion because we tired of y'all. We tired of y'all trying to act like y'all the allies when y'all really just been hella up and out the YT. Everything that y'all do, see, look, you can say one thing, you can type as much as you want on here, but your actions speak louder than words. And all y'all actions are showing that y'all have been the enemy. I swear to God. Y'all want to act as if y'all separated from the YT. The only thing that separates y'all is just skin color. That's it. They got the same mindset and everything. Y'all don't even have the original documents of history, bro. How are y'all the oldest people and can't tell us where the fuck we came from? Then y'all lie and say we came from from West Africa. Where the fuck? But that's all a lie too, because we found out that shit. We found it. Why? Because we did logical, critical thinking. Y'all thought that we weren't going to read. Y'all thought we weren't going to sit down and have a real solid thought and have that process all the way through to the very end. Nah, we're not on that no more. We sitting here hitting the ganja and really sitting here and really thinking about shit like, damn, y'all got us really paying for shit that grows that comes from nature. Now everything got to be questioned. Everything. Y'all can't even tell us where in Africa y'all stole us from. You feel me? Y'all don't have. Y'all just say south or west. Y'all don't actually have a fucking region, bro. Y'all don't have none of that shit. And then then when y'all try to give a region, it's crazy. Y'all always try to say Nigerian and shit. We don't fucking look Nigerian. That should be funny as fuck. And then come to find out, a lot of Nigerians came from America. They came from America. And it's crazy that all Africans say y'all came over, y'all migrated from a distant land over the Great Sea or over the Great Water. Basically, y'all came from somewhere else that's over the water. There ain't no other land masses in the world other than ours, you feel me? So you came from South America or North America, unless y'all telling me about a continent that has not been discovered yet. That's some bullshit too. That's why we looking at motherfuckers like, y'all, man, the world be really trying to lie shit. It's a globe. They try to make it seem like the equator is one spot, and the equator goes around the whole entire fucking globe. Now, if that's the case, then if one landmass stretches all the way across the fucking world and shit, and the closer you are to the equator, the hotter it gets and shit, whatever, whatnot. Why the fuck is the place that's on the equator majority of the United States? Why y'all telling us that we don't, that it's not that we don't come from there? That don't make no fucking sense. How is Africans coming from a place that ain't it just logically it does not make sense. It doesn't have enough food. It doesn't have enough water. How can you jumpstart humanity with not enough brain food? You need brain food in order to process. A lot of that food that they do grow out there and shit don't do nothing for you. Y'all out there shitting out dirt. And like I said, it's not no hate. It's just a speculation. We tell y'all not knowing our history, not knowing the real history, not even coming to us asking us about this. Y'all going to strangers to ask us about our families. That shit don't make no sense. How you gonna ask Lily about my auntie? How you gonna ask any of these motherfuckers about my great grandma? They don't know. A lot of these fucking new white people are honestly just got here too. These are not the original white people that enslaved people. That's a lot of people don't fucking realize too. A lot of these families, a lot of these white families out here, they're not the original slavers. You feel me? They weren't there with the original master. They weren't there during this original segregation, all that shit. These people came here in boats afterwards. Way the fuck afterwards. It wasn't a big ass influx of white people in America until like I say the motherfucking 1900s. Like, you feel me? Like, man, like, they was coming here by the boatload, you feel me? But at the end of the day, you feel me? These people can't tell us about nothing about the ATMs, none of that shit. Because they weren't out here as deep as they are now. Just like the Hispanics. They were Hispanics back then, 10, 20 years ago, but they weren't out here as deep as they are now, just like the Hawaiians. You might have 1 or 2 Hawaiians, but now they're deep as fuck now, you feel me? That's how shit go, man. Peace, man. I ain't finna keep explaining numbers. Y'all motherfuckers are stupid.
You've all waited for it, and now here it is. Obsessions, a series. Let's kick it off right away. Here's one way the welfare Olympians are obsessed with Black Americans. White women are too obsessed with everyone's hair but their own. They are obsessed with different braid styles, sew-ins, and even claiming a recent stake of ownership in lace front wigs. They have so much to say, but can't back it up because of their ego. And because they are so in their ego, they are too afraid to admit that they're obsessed with any and every style that black women do. They use obsessive and demeaning and unnecessary comments like, "Is it real?" or "Is it all yours?" Insane entitlement, thinking that you can just touch a black woman's hair, being super confused when they say no. They even laugh about it when they are told no because they are that obsessed and think that they are that entitled to touch a black woman's hair. They literally think it's a God-given right. They demand to touch it. They will search to the very ends of their Mary Poppins bag to find a comment to say, "I promise you." White women and men do not have creative motivation. So when they see black people have creative motivation, they become obsessed with the ideas that they see. They aren't able to breed creativity, so they become obsessed with the creative expression that they choose not to have. In simple terms, it's laziness. They are so mad and obsessed that they're now getting laws created to limit black creative expression. All of this hate when they could just admit that they're obsessed. All right, racists, let's talk about your obsession with going under the knife. Racist America mutilates itself trying to become the very thing that it hates, exiles, and shames. It's the opposite of admiration. It's necrophilic envy. The hatred for self has pushed racists to destroy their bodies, simply to accomplish the silhouette of black indigenous men and women, emulating the natural anatomy given by the creator that racists seem to only view as an aesthetic. They label themselves superior while booking surgical appointments to force body perfection, which is natural for black people. Who's superior again? We should all be asking ourselves, why do white and Latina women pay thousands of dollars to inject poisonous implants into their bodies to achieve the black woman's physique? Is it because the BBL isn't truly about beauty? Is it because it's really about theft, lust, and envy of the black person's physique? Or is it about an empire that has always tried to own the black body? On the plantation, and now in the operating room, plastic surgery in America has now been turned into an aesthetic competition, competing with fellow big back Buick-built pretenders to see who can fill themselves with Tupperware to look better than the natural beauty. Which points out that the surgery fad is truly about controlling, owning, and replicating the black feminine form, without having to inherit the unwarranted abuse, violence, and trauma. Theft has always been natural for racists. In the past, they stole land, destinies, and even lives. Now they steal lips, hips, and asses. White people are obsessed with black people. Two things. Number one, the demographic that is the most afraid of the specific demographic that I'm talking about, they're the only demographic that will go up to the danger because they hate it so bad. Does that even make sense to you? Second thing, the demographic that wants the most attention is the most afraid to be seen. Meaning, when a white person is driving and they notice a black person is across from them and they are afraid to make a turn, left or right, they are afraid that the black person is perceiving them and sees them as an idiot. Which 9 times out of 10 they are. But at the end of the day, it always rings true. White people are absolutely obsessed with black people.
They call it soul food. They call it slave food. But they never call it what it really is. Ours. Not borrowed. Not bootleg, not repackaged. Ours. Because black American food is not some watered down version of African cuisine. It's not scraps. It's not leftovers. It's not what they gave us. It's what we created despite what they gave us. And here's what they don't want to admit. Our food is more American than anyone else's. Because we were here before they called this place America. They told us we were African. Then they said we were Negro. Then colored. Then black. Then African American. But they never told us the truth. We are the indigenous soul of this land. That cornbread? That's not African. That's corn. Maize, cultivated by southeastern tribes, baked by our grandmothers in cast iron passed down through bloodlines. That turkey on your holiday table? That ain't from the motherland. That's a native North American bird, sacred to our ancestors, served with reverence every November. Catfish? That's Mississippi Delta. That's cornmeal battered, deep fried over stories and jukebox blues. That ain't Lagos. That ain't Accra. That's the muddy waters of Alabama and Louisiana. That's us. Gumbo? They want to say it's African. Nah, it's a trinity. African okra, Choctaw filet, and French roux, brought together by Negro culinary alchemists in New Orleans who turned oppression into elegance. Etouffee, jambalaya, red beans, and rice. Those weren't French imports. They were FBA innovations, seasoned with survival, stirred with skill, and served with pride. We didn't copy. We created. They say y'all don't have culture. Meanwhile, they're wearing our braids, remixing our slang, and now cooking our food with no seasoning and calling it fusion. Let's talk the Delta. Your family fried squirrel, hunted raccoon, deer, rabbit, not as a trend, but as tradition. Choctaw blood didn't disappear in a census. It lived in your skillet, in the gumbo pot, in the hush of the woods before the hunt. This wasn't about survival. This was about identity. And we need to stop limiting black food to collard greens and yams. Because you know what else is ours? Tamales. Yep, Mayan-influenced, corn husk wrapped holiday staples in black Mississippi households. We didn't just eat them. We claimed them. We flipped them. We made them hot, thick, spiced, and filled with the flavor of diaspora and dirt roads. You ever had a seafood boil in the South? That's not a trend. That's a ritual. Blue crab, crawfish, shrimp, potatoes, corn, all from American waters, wrapped in black love, seasoned like only FBA can. You think that came from the islands? Wrong coastline, wrong history. They didn't teach us this in school. Because if you ever realize that your food is indigenous, that your roots are from this land, that your recipes carry the same rhythm as your drums, your dances, your DNA, then the lie falls apart. This ain't slave food. This is sacred food. Food that remembers, food that resists, food that reclaims. So next time somebody says, you don't have culture, you tell them, we were here before forks. We were seasoning before refrigeration. We were blending indigenous, African, and European long before y'all discovered DoorDash. We didn't borrow nothing. Not the beats, not the braids, not the food. We are not soul food. We are not just Creole. We are not just Southern. We are foundational black American cuisine. And we are the plate everyone's eating from.
A lot of the FBA movement even goes as far as to say they're not even descended from Africa. And that part is tough because, like,
Don Cheadle, that nigga look like his name supposed to be Umbugu. He looked like you say his shit with a click. The clips look kind of African. Those niggas look kind of African, ain't?
This man don't even want to be African because he associate dark skin with being African. All the examples he used was dark skin black Americans. Don Cheadle, Clips. He didn't use any light skin or mixed black Americans in comparison to light skin, bleach skin, or mixed Africans because he totally disassociate light skin from being African. He did not only disassociate himself from being African, he gives off colorist vibes. Let's do some digging. This is his baby mama. She's light skinned. What did Cat Williams say about the light skins? The light skinned women?
If you sign up for their program, you get a light skinned, weird face wife that never do an interview. Listen.
So I guess, like father, like son, this is what this is, like father, like son. So Africans don't only bleach out African, they breed out African.
Please don't let the internet fool y'all. Black men still prefer black women. I know on the internet they try to make it seem like black men just don't want us, hate our guts, but baby, in real life, black men want black women. Ain't no drought in the real world. It's only on the internet where y'all get into these, male versus female, black men don't want black women. That's only on the internet, babe. Because in real life, yeah, black men still checking for us. Every black man I know in real life is still trying to love on a black woman, build with a black woman, make a family with a black woman. Black men still love us. They still want us. They still need us. I just feel like I need to say that because it's not being said enough. Y'all letting these insecure little podcasters get online and spread this rhetoric. And if you tell a lie so many times, people will start believing it. So I'm here to tell y'all, don't believe the hype.
All right, Native Americans, it's time for y'all to buckle those seatbelts because I got some information that I want to share, but I'm unsure if I want to give it out. I lied. Buckle those seatbelts and let's press the gas on this. Did you know that your favorite fraudulent TikTok chief, yeah, the one who can barely keep his eyes on the screen, his real name is Thomas Ronald, you know, like Ronald McDonald? Tried came on here and told y'all that he was a drug addict, but y'all didn't want to believe us, and it's clear that y'all didn't do your research on your favorite TikTok chief because even he told y'all that he used to do drugs. 12 months sober? I just want to say, Joya, it looks like those drugs are doing a motherfucking number on you. You looked way much more handsome back then. See? I'm pretty sure he had some girls on him. That motherfucker was a star back then. I don't know what the fuck is going on with you now, babe. But that's not even the best part. Are y'all ready for the best part? Allegedly, Miss Kenitha here used to be a cop. And she's no longer a cop, obviously. She's on TikTok trying to make her coins that she can barely grasp. But allegedly, she's on the Bradley list. Now, if you don't know what the Bradley list is, then I suggest that this be the time that you utilize Google. So, maybe you can come upon our platform and explain to us why you used to be a public servant, but you're no longer a public servant. Why should we still trust you?
So a Black American woman got on here saying how she wanted us to boycott like African braiding salons, right? So African nurse gets on here and says this is war. It says that she's going to tell the doctors at her job not to treat Black Americans. Like, goddamn, bitch, you want us to die because we don't want you to braid our hair? You think we should die because of that? This is what I meant. I just made a video saying that all skin folk ain't kin folk. I just said that 2 days ago. It's ridiculous. That is just that is over the top. And that is not necessary at all. You've got to relax. And they found her job. They didn't already found her job. I got the video. I don't know if I feel like getting somebody fired today. I might think about it. I saw somebody else contact them already, so it's out of my hands. I might not even need to do anything. I don't know why y'all keep getting on this internet playing with these Black Americans. You're gonna get fired every time.
I don't
don't think y'all understood what I meant in my last post. How are you cocky and how are you the original? That's for different groups of people. When your average rooster size, your little cock-a-doodle-doo average size is 3 inches long. The men of my people average 7 inches or longer. How are you cocky? How are you the original? Bye.
Bro, I'm letting y'all know down there in North Carolina, when I finish school, I'm coming down there for like 40 of them things. I'm coming down there for 40 of them. And I want a mule too. Yeah. Prove I ain't indigenous to this land. Prove I ain't indigenous to this land. Because I got proof I am.
I love my sugar babies that ask the right questions. You said, how does this ruling about birthright citizenship affect the baby follows the belly for Haitians? It doesn't affect Haitian people at all. But I do want to show you guys this law, the 1682 law, that says, it says right here, all those to be slaves to be imported either by sea or by land. So by sea, we understand is the North African Muslims. You have to ask yourself, who was imported by land? American Indians whose parentage's lands were taken by Christians. That's anyone with the doctrine of discovery since 1492 in Haiti. So they're telling you in the 1682 law that they imported enslaved American Indians by land. From where? None other than the Caribbean islands.
Oh, that Cherokee on y'all ass. What y'all say? Your grandma was what? Did your grandma was Cherokee princess? Was your grandma Cherokee princess? Y'all used to love saying that, right? Oh, you just a pretendian. Oh, you just a whopper. Who the fuck pretendian now? We know what the fuck we are. You dirty fucks. And for y'all to own black people. I mean, y'all were slavers. You dirty fucks. But hey, I always knew. Like I said, I know where I stand. Ain't nobody gonna change what I know. And hey, more and more is coming out. So I'm gonna stay along and keep watching. Cause you notice how that court case disappeared? Now they out here telling the truth. That court case vanished. It'll have something to do with Trump cutting their money. But hey, if you like the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. Because I've been your boy Azrael. This has been another episode of Azrael Reacts. And I'll check you guys next time. Deuces.